Hello.
So this is our first podcast, and I'm not feeling the best physically.
Me neither. We are running in like
fucking headache.
We're running in like 2 hours.
I feel
of
super
sleep.
nauseous right now. Like my eyes feel really drowsy and heavy, and also didn't get too much sleep. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'd rather be like this than I guess being anywhere else. And by anywhere else, I mean work. So I really don't know how this works. Like, do we just start asking each other question? I don't really want to talk about who I am. It's like
we're nobody.
We're nobodies.
We're nobodies. You
Every-
don't need to know us.
Everybody's like, yeah, clearly you guys are like, you guys look like.
Clearly you got the nice 0 on the screen. You got maybe 1 view, and you know that's us.
That's
just
us.
Checking if the video is any good.
And if it's 6 views, it's probably me checking it every 3 times. See, I glitched. I glitched, but I don't know.
Basically, you mean
checking it all the time,
rewatching
it
all the time.
But apart from that, I got a huge headache. But like I said, I wanted to do this regardless of anything. There might be Russia might have invaded the fucking.
Can you please not swear?
The United States. Why?
Because I feel like that's just not a good habit to have.
But it's me.
Is it though?
I mean, that's who I am right now.
I don't know if you want that to be, I guess, something you practice, because I feel like in the past you were a strong advocate for not swearing.
I mean, sure, but I can't really restrict my speech at this moment.
All right.
Why?
I mean, if that's
because of an audience
how you feel.
I mean, why not?
I don't know. I just feel like, I guess that's
our
a conversation.
Our personalities differ a lot. Like, she's very, I guess, more of a good civilian, but I'm more reckless.
No, but I feel like this is a conversation we've had in the past where you've said that you find cuss words to be unattractive, and I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I know that you have been influenced by people around you to adopt a certain kind of language.
At the same time, I just don't feel like it's, I guess, who cares? You know what I mean? If we're really in that, at that age where it's you shouldn't use that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't swear. We're normal. We're it's part of the culture. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you should or that you shouldn't. I'm just saying that I guess people shouldn't niche that person down to, he's a dumbass, you know what I mean? He's a loser because he's speaking this way. I mean, if you think about it, the more I guess censored you speak, the more weird and unrelatable you seem. I mean, you can see that with CEOs. It's they speak in a very professional manner. It almost seems like it's unrelated, robotic. You can't relate, they're not human. You know what I mean? That's the guy's excuse for not censoring down.
That's an excuse. I feel like you can just speak normally without using curse words.
Sure.
So, and you can still be relatable, because, I don't know, you cursing doesn't necessarily make you more relatable.
But I think at the same time, I think that you don't want to be included in a niche.
I just feel like that's not you. I feel like, I don't know, I honestly feel like that's not you.
That's my current me, though.
Yeah, which I thought that, I guess you didn't like too much.
I mean, no, but at the same time, I can't just, this is just who I am, freely at this moment. You know what I mean? I can't restrict that. You know what I mean? Because of a fucking podcast.
I mean, not because of the podcast, but, in general, I feel like if you want
I mean, I've gotten better. I don't really cuss like I used to, but at the same time, you can't expect somebody who's a drug addict to just go full yoga instructor. You know, it takes time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Are you okay? It's weird talking about this, right? It's you feel like this stuff should... I feel a little
uncomfortable.
This stuff should be talked, apart in private. She's giving me, the side eye, we shouldn't be talking about this. But, I mean, I'm trying to be as authentic as I can right now.
Yeah, it's good to be open.
I'm trying to, I guess, just not stress over about many things, because then it just doesn't seem natural. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like you're actually being genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't... it's almost as if you're like treating it like a job.
I mean, yeah, that's not what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to, I guess, have a conversation, but I feel like this in a way feels unnatural, like even between us. Like I feel like you are acting a little different than in normal day-to-day life, and I'm probably also acting different.
Okay, so how do I act?
What do you mean?
I mean, how do I normally act if not like this?
Differently, or maybe we just haven't had these conversations, or maybe we haven't like talked about more serious things in a while, because it feels different.
What feels different though?
Just our beings. Yeah, the
I'm
energy.
just trying to be authentic right now. I'm not like really like trying to like do anything special. Like I'm not stressing. I'm just chilling, to be honest.
Yeah. Our dog got her first haircut today. How do you feel about that?
Feels weird. She looks a little funny.
Yeah, she does.
She kind of looks like that dude from the Ratatouille, the chef.
Oh, yeah, the one with the rat.
That's how she kind of looks like, her face.
Yeah, they only cut her face and paws and booty.
Yeah, she looks pretty.
Yeah. She looks different. Like, I miss her paws. I really liked her hairy paws.
I don't like it. She's very, like, she's low-key, like, she's like that annoying dog. And I don't like that she's like that, but she has that trait. Hopefully it doesn't, I guess, accumulate. It doesn't become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope she becomes, I guess, obedient. You know what I mean? Where you can take her to the store without her, you know what I mean? Like, going, like, full chihuahua mode. You know what I mean? Like, Super Saiyan, like fucking the Lion King spirit.
I just feel like we need to take her out more to like different stores and stuff to meet different kinds of people, new environments, because I mean we've been talking about doing something like that for a while, but
You mean to hold it?
No, it's okay.
I can hold it.
I can hold it.
Hey buddy, let me hold it.
Why do you want to hold it?
Because it's a masculine thing to do.
Alright, you can hold it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been thinking about taking her to like different stores that allow dogs for a while. We actually were able to take her to Walmart, which is like, no, I'm kidding. A lot of people take their dogs to Walmart, especially when they are small, which she's a pretty small, like she's considered a really small dog.
The thing is that Maya, she's very obedient. Like she wants to do things by the code, by the law, by the policy, by you know what I mean. Like she's more obedient than the Walmart employees. Like the Walmart employees aren't like, I guess, implementing the what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Yeah.
Like, she has that spirit. She's afraid to go ahead and take the dog inside because apparently you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like service dogs and emotional support animals or something like that only. But we did that today, and I feel like it went pretty well. I feel like I should do that more often, like when I go for my weekly groceries or something. Maybe I could take her with me.
But, like, I think it went pretty well. Meanwhile, Suki's, like she's just, like, paralyzed. She's like when are we gonna fucking get out of here?
I feel like she was kind of chilling on my arms though.
Oh, okay.
I feel like she wasn't too interested in the people. She was more interested in like, I guess, the food and packaged stuff. Like she was like, oh, I know this is some stuff that's good. I was worried that she would like bark or growl or something, but she didn't do any of that. She was pretty comfortable in my arms. She was also quite okay in the cart, but she was more like, I guess, moving around in the cart than in my arms. But I feel like if I go alone to the grocery store, I'm probably gonna have to put her in the cart, so we'll have to see. But I feel like it's a good practice for her to be in new situations because we are home a lot.
No, yeah, it's definitely good.
What?
Because you're usually the one who's just taking care of her. I don't really take care of her.
So?
Like, I usually just be like, hey. No, it's just funny how you're like, by we, you mean you.
I should also, like, start doing tricks with her again. I used to do tricks, like, every day and, like, practice stuff. But then I think I just got more stressed with my other things, so I kind of stopped, And now that she came back from the groomers, I should also start brushing her every day, which is something we did in the beginning, but then that also fell off. I want her to be a good girl. Like, I know she's not the best girl right now, and I know that, like, she's my responsibility. I know that I am the one who's mainly, like, teaching her stuff. So it feels kind of hard to admit that or to hear that, oh, she's not, like, I guess the best dog in the world. But hopefully, like, I can fix that.
Yeah.
She's 6 months old, or about to be 6 months in a couple of days. So she's not, like, that old. And we've had her since she was a baby. So hopefully I can kind of focus on her more.
But apart from that, I know we're acting really weird. But hey,
that's just how it is.
Cut us some slack, okay? This is the beginning. Obviously, we'll be honing our skills in the future if this becomes something that we end up enjoying. Right now, it's sort of just an experiment, see how it is.
We've actually been talking about, like, making a podcast for a while.
2 years, huh?
2 years? Has it really been 2 years?
I think we've been wanting to do this for, like, a while. Like, even through, like online.
Yeah.
Like, let's do a podcast. Like, it's, like, like in a Skype.
Oh, yeah, or like
call.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Because we were long distance.
Really? We were long distance?
Nobody else knows.
But where are you from?
Okay, you don't want to talk about this.
But where are you from?
I feel like you don't want to talk about this.
Where are you from?
Estonia.
Wow. Holy shit. Who would have thought? I thought you were American.
No, you didn't. Everybody's like, oh, I can hear you have an accent. Where are you from?
Oh my gosh. You got that from 5 people. Out of all the 900 people that you saw here in America, you're going to take the 5 people who said that you had an accent as, oh, that's how everybody sees me.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe, like, some people are too polite to, like, ask. Maybe they think that, oh, this is weird. Like, I remember...
That's a thing in general. Like, when somebody, like, compliments you, no matter how many compliments you get, that one person who says, like, a mean thing, that really sticks. That really, like, sets it aside. I don't know what it is. Like, you can get 5 compliments from somebody or from random people, and then somebody be like, you fucking ugly bitch, you fucking stupid, dumb whore. It's like, wow. You know what I mean? You feel like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the previous 5 people said. It's like that thing's sticking to you. Like the negative.
Yeah. I remember I was very, very insecure of my accent. Like, that's been something I've struggled with, like, all my life in different languages because I speak a couple of languages, and when I was little, I was living in Sweden, and then I was, like, embarrassed of my accent when I was speaking in Estonian because my family members was pointing out that I have an accent. So I feel like I've always kind of been embarrassed of, like, having an accent in different languages. So as an example, I'm kind of scared of speaking in Spanish or even trying to because I know, like, nobody cares, and if anything, like, people would be like, oh wow, like, that's kind of impressive, but I feel like I don't want to be the white person being like, Ole, ¿cómo estés?
But nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Like, they find it impressing. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes...
Yeah, but it's like behind closed doors. No, people make fun of it.
Because it's funny.
I know, exactly. It's funny, yeah, but I don't want to be made fun of.
I get it, but there's things that are, like, normal, like people regularly see, but once it's actually comically composed, it's like, wow, yeah, that shit's relatable. You know what I mean? No? Just me? You don't feel like that? Sure. Like, for instance, like, let's say somebody makes a meme about the teacher saying when the classroom bell goes off, where you have to go to your next class, like when the school bell goes off, and the teacher's like, I dismiss you, not you, you know what I mean? And you're like, and then you just leave. You know what I mean? It's funny. Yeah. Like, you regularly see things like that. If anything, you might be, like, an actual, like, you know what I mean?
The one doing
it, you know what I mean? But you don't laugh at the moment. You're not like, but because somebody comically composed the idea, it becomes even more funny. So Hispanics in general, they're not really doing that. They're not, like, making fun. Like, they laugh because I'm, like, the first person to, like, it's not like they do that within each other. Like, I always, like, if anything, like, sometimes I, like, ask my dad or ask somebody that is, I guess... they're really Hispanic, like, you know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers have, like, they have beans for toes, you know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't consider myself, like, an actual Hispanic, because, well, I was born. I mean, this is where I'm influenced by my culture, which is America. Even if I know about Honduras, but I'm not interconnected with their culture. You know, I'm not familiar with their culture. I'm more familiar with the American culture. So, and that's true. Like, even if you're very passionate about that side of your culture, it won't influence you to the extent that America, because the houses look different, the people, the I guess the community is different. Like, you're dealing with people who live here in America, people here in a certain city with certain rules and I guess regulations and philosophy and mannerisms like people have. Like, every city has like their own little thing. Like, oh yeah, people in New York, they're more outspoken, they're more, I guess, assertive, you know what I mean, than people over there in Canada. They're very nice people, you know what I mean, they're very, or like in Japan, everything's almost about respect. Like, everybody's very nice and kind to you. Or maybe in like, I don't know, what other cultures. But then some cultures, they might be like a little more rugged, like Russia. I mean, that's what the guy from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck said. He said that, I think he moved to Russia for a couple weeks, or he lived there for like a year or two. I'm not sure for why. I don't know if he was studying, but he was basically there. And he said that the woman told him that he was fat. And then he was just like, wow, like, you know, she just said that out of nowhere. But she was actually just being like, I guess that was her way of being friendly in some sense. They're like, hey bro, you're fat. Like, I'm just to let you know, like, if you didn't notice you were fucking fat, like, if you don't got mirror, if you're fucking if when you get on the bed, your bed doesn't go ink, you know what I mean? If you don't hear those noises, like, you might be fucking fat, dude. Like, you're fucking fat. And so that's her way of being, like, I guess, a good Samaritan, because the culture over there is much more harsher. By the way, we have this 4-night tournament that we're planning on doing. We're also going to watch the Polar by marathon. It's just, I guess, just we're basically playing Fortnite all night. Yeah. I mean, I feel like,
or maybe we'll just go and take a nap, and the nap will be like 10 hours.
The nap will be like 10 hours, but I doubt it, because, well, I can't really go to sleep now. It's like one of those days where you try to go to sleep, but you just can't. You're like just thinking.
It makes me so anxious. Like, today too, I was feeling quite anxious about not getting enough sleep, because we were in bed and I knew that we had to wake up in like 2 hours, that we went to sleep too late, and then we have all these things planned for tomorrow, so we're not gonna be able to get enough sleep. And I felt bad for you in a way, because I know that you don't have this chance to like sleep in or whatever, take naps every day. And I was also kind of thinking about myself. I was like, okay, so when will be the next time that I'll be able to like properly sleep, or just like, I don't know, sleep and not have an alarm, or not worry about like, okay, I gotta wake up, you know? Stuff like that kind of stresses me out.
You need to stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much. Like, the way your brain is just structured is for, in some sense, perfection. And so when something isn't going your way, you stress about it so much. You think about how long it will be for, I guess, until you find a solution. And that makes you feel even more anxious. You just like spiraling down with no actual effective solution. You're just, the thing you're being concerned is just living in your head for, who knows, depending on what the problem is, maybe like a day or weeks, or maybe even longer than that. Like, you let that thing live rent free in your brain for like fucking 8 months.
Free 99.
I'm afraid of like, how long will I have to be in the schedule for? Like, oh no, I'm living in a hell. You know what I mean? Just stop. Just that. You know what I mean? You stop stressing. Especially you, because you can't, like, I have the ability to stress at things, but I just let it go in some sense. Yeah. Like, there's so many things that happen, like maybe Suki poops, and like, even like before, like when I was taking care of my aunt's dog, he would just poop and just be like, fuck. Like, that was my reaction, which is like, fuck. But yours is like, fuck, oh no, fuck, fuck, how long is it gonna be until Suki learns to not fucking poop on the bed? I mean, how dumb can you be? And it's just like, you start to think, how long have I been training her and she still doesn't know? How long would I have to train her until she learns? It's like, oh my god, chill. You know what I mean? And that's only like one thing out of many different things. Especially like the more serious the problem, the more stressed you get. And it's just like, stop. You know what I mean? You especially like need a
chill pill.
I don't know, like, you need less of what you're always feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I don't necessarily care too much if it's like in our rooms, but because currently we are like sharing our living spaces with other people, I just feel like I'm kind of like disappointing them, or I guess bothering them, being a burden in case like she does happen to poop in the shared spaces.
That's a good thing to have. But it's like, you're that person. When you think about somebody who's like a good Samaritan, a good citizen, you know what I mean, an actual ideal person, you think of that person like you're like 50% of that person, or like that character who like helps and like, you know what I mean, like tries to donate and, you know what I mean, actually be a good person and help people. You should be like 50% of that. But you go full like, you know what I mean, like you become like the servant, you're the citizen, you're like,
I go 200%.
Yeah, you go 200%. Like you go overboard. It's like, whoa, like this is her job. Like she goes into work, she punches in, and then she's like already like, oh my man, I'm so sorry. Like that's basically you.
Sometimes I feel like a servant.
That's basically you. You're just like that in a nutshell. Like sometimes it doesn't express itself all the way, but you're like, that's the feeling you're giving out. The feeling of like chill. You're making me anxious.
Yeah.
And obviously I know that you don't have any control of how you feel, but like, don't stress. You need less stress. Like for instance, from my understanding, Warren Buffett, like he's like, these guys are disciplined, right? But Warren Buffett, he has like a shit diet. You know, he eats like Coke.
Yeah.
And like burgers. Who the fuck knows what he eats, but it's not healthy from what I understand. And that might be ignorant, like I don't know. But from what I understand, Brody doesn't eat the best. But maybe that's like his way to like keep low stress, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, maybe that's better than him just eating salads and all that stuff, and it becomes like too stressful. It's like his body's like, oh my gosh, like, it's too much for his mind to deal with, you know what I mean? So he just eats a Coke, maybe like a little burger on the side. That's his way of keeping low stress, and maybe that's better than just drinking your way to sleep instead of being like an alcoholic and I guess toxic individual.
He's consuming, I guess, what brings him joy, perhaps.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big part. Like I used to really restrict my diet, and that caused a lot of unnecessary stress and tension. So I definitely feel like now I'm just trying to enjoy things, and I feel like I don't even care too much like if I'm the skinniest person. I feel like even if I gain a little bit of weight, like that's gonna be fine as long as I can enjoy the food that I eat. I mean, I'm not like trying to say that, oh, I'm going to go full crazy mode and become super, super unhealthy, but I feel like my body just kind of knows how to regulate these things. I heard
this quote where it was like, nobody cares about you to the same extent that you care about yourself.
Oh, definitely not.
And maybe the way you think about you is like, you're a piece of shit. You feel like people look at you like that, and so you view yourself like that, but you won't have people viewing you the way you view yourself. Basically, you need low stress. You know what I mean? You need to have more fun.
I'm trying to not stress too much. Do you feel like I've gotten any better?
I think so, but I feel like I still need some work.
Oh, definitely. I'm like at percentage 75% like stressing. You're like, no, I'm not so sure about that. How about 99%? You got 1%.
98.6%.
98? Okay, you're probably right.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm joking. You're making an effort, but I understand that to change, like to actually change, it's gonna take some time. So I guess I'm trying to be patient. But I always try to, I guess, chant that before I go to work or after or while I'm at work. Like, hey, you know what I mean? You need to keep low stress. Like, you need to stop stressing as much.
I'm gonna die from stress if I don't stop. No, but
that's
those
serious.
chants...
I'm not even joking. You could, like, you're young right now, but when you're older, you're gonna have way more shit to stress about. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, way more shit.
Fire chants, they help a lot. He sends me little text reminders, like, you're contributing, try to
But it's not only
stress.
that. Like, it's not only about making you feel good. Like, it's about, like, you actually, like, taking what I'm saying into consideration. It's not like coming across like a motivational quote in Instagram. you're feeling fucking inspired, but not doing shit after that.
No,
like,
but
I'm being
like,
serious when I tell you these things. Like,
I know.
like, bro, don't stress on just random shit.
I know, and I
like
feel
if Sugi poops, like, I mean, you can see that with different personalities in some sense. Like, there might be this person who sort of laughs at a mistake, and I think that I'm more like that. Like, if Suki poops under the table, I'll make a joke out of it, like, holy shit, massive log under this fucking table. Like, while you're like, oh my god, Suki, you know what I mean? You're starting to get stressed. Well, I'm like, holy shit, holy, like,
a painting. Let's save
awards. This. Like, that looks like
let's
the
put one
shits
of those
that the dogs would have back in like the fucking 1080 BC or some shit like that.
Let's put one of those like museum artwork name notes next to it. Suki Dookie, created by Suki, 2023.
2023. I don't know. That shit looks like fucking
description.
Back in the dinosaurs.
2 logs created at 4 a.m. under the dining room table, preserved for your entertainment.
I think that was a good first podcast.
Yeah, I want to do this again, I think.
What do you feel about it? Like, would you like doing this?
Yes, in a way I feel like I would like to have like some sort of plan for the podcast. Like, okay, so these could be like some
maybe we can experiment for like 2 months and see if that's something we like. Like, instead of being like, this is our life purpose, like, we're just like experimenting with this.
Oh yeah, like I'm not trying to put too much pressure on this. I feel like that's kind of been my focus. Like, I'm just not trying to put too much pressure on anything I'm doing. As an example,
sometimes you get an itch.
Yeah, I'm like, let me just stress about this a little more.
I want to make a plan.
But as an example, I have a little morning routine plan. And for the past couple of days, I mean, I set for like last week, I set myself the goal of practicing that morning routine every day and trying to master it so that I could add like a new habit on top of that. And honestly, like, I didn't do the morning routine like I had envisioned every day, but I adapted it to like what I needed or what I wanted to do or how I could do it that day. So as an example, one of the things in my morning routine is exercising, and I put just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because I feel like that's more motivating for me, because it's like, okay, I know it's gonna be quick. But then on certain days I was just cleaning, I wasn't feeling too good physically, and I was just doing some cleaning, and then I was like, okay, cleaning could technically also count as exercise. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna push myself to do like a workout video or whatever. And then I was maybe reading, journaling. Maybe I didn't do those things in the order that I had envisioned, but I still got like at least like most of the things on my morning routine list done. And I feel like that's been working for me. And in the past, maybe I would stress about not doing it perfectly, but I feel like right now I'm quite okay with that. I think that's something you've kind of tried to teach me, or that's something you've been implementing in your own life. You've been trying to not stress things not going the way you envision. If it's going at least a little in that direction,
you can't do much. There's really not much you can do, so just let it go. The thing is that I feel like most of us, like, when we're thinking about changing, we're seeing it through the lens of a span of like 2 to 3 weeks. We want to start seeing results. We definitely want to start seeing results after a month. It's like, okay, this shit, it's hard, I'm trying hard, but I'm not seeing results. And not only that, if you're not keeping up to that standard, anything less than that makes you feel like, you know what I mean, like a mediocre. Like, you're not actually gonna receive the benefits if you don't do it consistently every day. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you accidentally eat a fucking donut.
Accidentally eat the box of 12
donuts that was fucking locked and said, don't eat it, Jair. And I still like, oops, like, you know what I mean? Like, I chew. You know? Like, instead of,
it was the ghost.
Yeah, whenever that happens, like, you're like, fuck, you know what I mean? I can't do it. It's like, bro, like, you gotta understand, you're like, you're changing, and your body, your mind is fighting you. It's like, come on, like, eat that fucking donut, you know what I mean? That shit looks juicy.
Like, nobody's gonna notice.
Yeah, nobody's gonna notice. I think that once I started to treat it like a drug, I felt like it was much more easier to let it go.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. From my understanding, I know that drug addiction addiction is really hard, and it takes a while to recover, like, fully, because it still has its, like, long-lasting effects.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, for people who, like, try to, like, quit smoking, they could, like, quit smoking, like, a year from now, and they still, like, if somebody's like, you want a cigarette, you're like, fuck, you know what I mean? You have the mental strength to say no, but if you did think about going ahead and smoking it again, it would definitely give you, like, that holy shit, you know what I mean? I haven't had this in a while. And then the next day you come around, you're like, let me just have, like, a little, you know what I mean, a reward.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
And then it's like, before you know it, it's just like you're smoking every day, packs, numbers of cigarettes, and it's just like, that's how it sort of starts. That's how I sort of view it. Like, if I'm trying to change my diet, I gotta understand that these are long-lasting symptoms.
Have that mentality.
Yeah, and then once I sort of thought like that, I was just like, okay. Because I remember when I first, like, thought about not eating as much, it was like, I was having these headaches, and I was just like, wow, this is almost like somebody going through, like, heavy withdrawal.
Yeah.
And people are, like, vomiting, they're, like, having these massive headaches, like, they feel like they're gonna die. They feel so shitty, like, they need it, sort of as an aid to their physical body that hurts. Like, it's not even out of a want to do the drug, but out of a need, because their body is in pain. So that's how I thought about it. I was like, okay, right now I'm experiencing that withdrawal where I'm having headaches, I feel like shit, and I'm just, like, going through it little by little, and it was just like, this is like a withdrawal, you know what I mean? I had to treat it like that. And so once I had that down, I could get down the other stuff, which is like having the discipline to not eat other things. But it was very hard. Like, I failed a lot of times. Like, in the beginning, I ate in the morning. Now I don't. Like, I don't eat in the morning. You remember you made me eggs in the morning when I go to work. And then I ate my lunch, and then I would have food when I came back as well. But then it took some time for me to, like, okay, I'm not having breakfast anymore.
Something you've mentioned is that you kind of feel like you need to have the everything or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
Like, that works for you. I feel like that kind of works for me too, or at least my mind kind of likes it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe I can just, like, orient my diet where it's just, like, I don't allow myself to eat anything in the week. Like, anything that would trigger anything else. Like, let's say I eat ice cream, you're like, fuck, you know what I mean? I'm craving something salty. You're starting to eat Doritos, you're starting to, like, not even that. There's certain foods that increase your appetite.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm sure, like, if you eat some shitty food, you're like, all right, I don't want to eat any food. You know what I mean? Like, so let's say you ate this chicken that kind of, like, tasted, like, really, like, fucking bad. You don't want to eat anything else. You're not thinking, oh, I want to have a fucking donut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, give me some water. I want to fucking, like, wash.
You want to throw it up.
You want to, like, flush and cleanse yourself out of the fucking shit that you just ate. Okay, guys, that's today's podcast. We're going to play some
pizza.
Fortnite. We're going to make some pizza.
Brownies.
Oh
we
my
got
God.
pie.
Oh my God.
We got
right.
pineapple. Pineapple goes on pizza.
Oh, pineapple. Oh, that's really good. We're going to play Fortnite. Maybe watch some movies, hang out. You know, just chill out with the baby. Great.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.